about the mega parlays. He was calling me mega. Oh, it hit that week. I was like, oh shoot, Jim is my good luck charm now. So I'm sorry,
Hey,
Lauren.
I am okay being
Maybe in
replaced.
the future things can change, but
I'm okay
that's where
being
we stand.
replaced only by Jim, though. Only by Jim Monis. Jim, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great now. I can tell you this. I don't think I'm anybody else's good luck charm in this whole world. So I feel I've never felt better about myself. I had a great day yesterday betting college hoops, some bowl games. I'm in a good mood, listening to some reggae music this morning, getting ready for New Year's. Like I'm just in a good, I think we're going to hit more winners today. I think Jared's been on fire. AO, you've been on fire. Lauren always killing
Jared's
with the
been killing.
props. Let's have a good day.
Let's have a good day, guys. And there's only 2 more days now left in 2021. So we got to make the most of them. Because of that, we're talking about a lot of different sports today. We got bowl games, NBA bets, ice picks, AO, NFL picks, because he's not on the show this weekend. So he has to give out his NFL picks because we love to hear them. And then we can't end without our best bets of the day and the Pickswise 3-star play of the day. So, guys, without further ado, let's get into it and let's bet it. Bowl games, there's 4 of them going on tonight. Ayo, you're not on any of these games tonight, are you?
No, I haven't bet personally. I could pass along a couple things from the site. I don't know if somebody else was going to do that later, but we do have
We got
we
some
have a
bets.
3-star play on the site. I know we're on Wisconsin. I know that Luke Lindholm, I believe, is our analyst who wrote up the Wisconsin Arizona game. He's laying the points with Wisconsin. I thought he made some good points. Arizona State, they like to run the ball a lot. They run the ball a lot more than they pass, and they're going to be without their star running back, Rashad White. So I think that's a huge loss. I don't think Jaden Daniels, when a lot more falls on his shoulder, is going to have much success against the Wisconsin defense that's still very good. So I like that pick. It's not mine, but I read it. I liked it.
Yeah, and Jim likes it too because you're on Wisconsin's side, right, Jim?
I'm pumped for this game tonight. Usually with Wisconsin, and Lauren, I know you like the Big Ten so much. I
Oh,
hate
yeah, let's go.
laying too many points with Wisconsin because they don't score. Like they just scare me scoring the ball. But if you haven't played Wisconsin, they're a different type of team. Arizona State hasn't seen a team like this that
Yeah.
plays straight, physical, run the ball. They stop the run. They play defense. They get after the quarterback. Arizona State, not great with turnovers. Wisconsin will play sound football tonight. I feel pretty good about this one. I'm liking the way they're going. Jim Leonard's their defensive coordinator for Wisconsin. We had him in Buffalo because when Rex Ryan was coach, whoever Rex said he would coach, he was going to have Jim Leonard playing for him
Okay.
because he is so smart and just a great dude. Cool to see him back at Wisconsin doing his thing. So feel good about that game.
Yeah, I like it. I look at the first bowl game of the day, and Jared and I were talking about this yesterday, the Duke's Mayo Bowl. So at the end of this game, it's a tradition that they dump mayo, like actual mayonnaise, on the winning head coach. Okay. And I have 2 quotes here about the mayo bath. Shane Beamer from UNC, sorry, University of South Carolina,
Yeah.
says, I'm not a big mayonnaise guy. I mean, I'll gladly take one for the team if that means we won a football game, but woof. But Mac Brown, the head coach of UNC, says, if we won a game, I'd let someone hit me in the face with a frying pan. I don't care. So Mac Brown is ready for the mayo shower. And because of that, I am taking UNC, laying the points, 9.5 of those points to be exact. North Carolina's offense already superior to South Carolina's throughout the season. They're without running back Zaquandre White. The playing gap because of that is even wider. South Carolina is going to be starting Zeb Noland in this game at quarterback. He does have a 6-1 touchdown to interception ratio. He threw 4 of those touchdowns in a 46-0 win over Eastern Illinois in the first game of the season. What the Gamecocks do have going for them is an excellent pass defense, okay? But they're also going to be without their top pass rusher in this game as well. Sam Howell deciding to play in this game will give North Carolina that spark that they need. I believe this is important to the program to bounce back from a regular season-ending loss to NC State. So I expect North Carolina to roll. 9.5, that's a lot of points to be laying, but I still like it. And Mac Brown, he's going to be getting his mayo bath, and also apparently he wants to be hit in the face with a frying pan. So that's going to happen too. UNC laying the points over South Carolina. How do you feel about it,
I
guys? And how
I
gross is
love that. Wait, how long has that been going on? I feel like why have I not seen that? Like I feel like how long has that been a tradition?
I don't know. I
Is this the
honestly
first year,
didn't
or is that
realize
second been happening?
I didn't realize this until this year when Jared told me that the mayo bath is a thing that they do. But I never realized that it was a thing that they do.
I
So
like Mac Brown's comments. I think Mike Vrabel still hasn't beat. I don't know if you saw a couple years ago. I think he said he let them cut off his what to win a Super Bowl. So I think he's still got them by a little bit, but frying pan to the face is getting there.
I wonder how
is close second.
I mean, how many leaders of companies that make millions of dollars, like Vrabel or Mac Brown, have quotes of "I'll just hit me with a frying pan" or "I will cut off." That sums up football for you, where these are $1 million head coaches and they are talking about getting hit with a frying pan or getting dumped on with mayonnaise. Like, I don't even.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, Lauren, I listen to the show and I'm with you. I will eat. Hey, I'll go try. I love food. I eat everything. Mayonnaise, I struggle with
Like
that.
it's just I'm a big condiment person too. Like ketchup, give me all the ketchup. I put ketchup on everything basically except for ice cream. Mayo, no. Like just no. Like I would rather be hit in the face with a frying pan as well. So Mac Brown and I are on the same page with this one. You know?
We not to tell too many stories about the condiments, but Pat Mahomes, when we worked him out before the draft, we were down in Lubbock and we went to the night before we worked him out, we went to a steak place. And that was the first time he put ketchup on the steak and we were all giving him a hard time about it, but he's made a nice little, a little profit off that. I think.
So you
He's
were
got the
there.
ketchup endorsement deal.
Yeah, we took Mahomes out to dinner before. Yeah, we always would take the players out to dinner, get to know them a little bit before the draft. And he ordered, he picked the steak place and then he ordered ketchup. And we all looked at each other like, what?
Like not like A1 sauce, not like I don't know, gravy. What else do you put on steaks? I like don't put anything on steaks. So
No, that's the rule.
So
Don't mess with it.
That's so crazy. One of the other ones I'm looking at, this is also my favorite fast food place, Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, right down the road here from me in Atlanta. Chick-fil-A is probably my favorite place to go. I go there like 4 days a week. It's fine, no worries. But Pittsburgh is taking on Michigan State in this one. And this is not just a Big Ten love. This is not just a love from being from the state of Michigan, but I like Michigan State laying 2.5 in this game. I don't know. You look at this game and I'm not trying to undersell the importance of Kenneth Walker III, but his absence from the game for me pales in comparison to what the Panthers have lost. They've lost their star quarterback, Kenny Pickett. They're also going to be without their senior wideout, Taser Mack. And they'll also be missing offensive coordinator Mark Whipple, who resigned from his position a few weeks ago. That's a lot more to try to overcome than just one running back, in my opinion. It's possibly a tough situation for Nick Patty. Like you look at, sure, he knows the offense, he knows all of the terminology, but he actually hasn't been on the field in games to develop that chemistry with his teammates. And he won't have Whipple there to help guide him through that process either. I think he's getting thrown into the fire against a defense that's really good at getting after the quarterback. Michigan State secondary, not that great, but they do have their O line or their D line is really, really good at getting after the quarterback. I think Jordan Simmons might not be Walker, but he's going to be able to find openings to run the ball. And I think that can generate a little push at the point of the attack, but it's not going to be much. It's going to be more than enough to keep Pittsburgh's defense off balance. I think the Panthers secondary is going to give up some big plays. I like Michigan State laying the points in this one. For me, it's just too much for Pitt to be able to overcome, to be able to win this game or cover the spread with it only being 2.5. I don't know if you guys agree, but that's just how I feel.
Makes sense to me. Quarterback's worth more than a running back.
Oh yeah.
I know. Lauren, I like you. Yeah, I agree with you. I didn't have the guts to do that game because I don't know. It just seems too easy to go against Pitt when they're missing their quarterback. But I like what you're saying. It makes sense.
Before we move on to NBA, Jim, I know, do you have one more game, Tennessee, right?
I do. I like this Tennessee team. I like the way they're playing. This quarterback Hooker is really fun to watch. He runs the ball, which I love quarterbacks that can make plays running the ball, especially in a bowl game. They throw the ball. They have weapons. Purdue, speaking of missing weapons, they're missing those two wideouts who are big-time players and a defensive end who's a stud coming off the edge. That's not a good recipe, I don't think, for playing. And the SEC's been getting, I know they're kind of been getting picked on a little bit.
Yeah.
But I don't worry about that too much. I think Tennessee is ready to play this game. It's almost like a home game for them anyway. So I like that Tennessee bet today. So I'm rolling with Tennessee and Wisconsin in the bowls today.
Yeah, I haven't bet this yet, but we were talking a little bit about it before the show. I think I'm leaning that way too, because like Tennessee played a tougher schedule. It wasn't that far away from a couple of marquee wins against Pittsburgh and Ole Miss. I think both of those losses were only 1-score losses. And then I think the combination of that with Purdue's crucial opt outs, they're also playing in front of a friendly home crowd. Like it's in Nashville. So basically, it's still in the state of Tennessee. That's kind of like a home crowd, right? And they've also played strong in the second half of the season. I think that's going to help Tennessee get a win by at least a touchdown here, if not more. So I think I'm going to tail you on that one, Jim. Big
Let's
fan.
hope. Good. I
Let's
hope
hope
we're right.
Fingers crossed. 2 more days left in 2021, guys. We need to finish out strong. So, speaking of finishing strong, NBA 4-game slate tonight. There's COVID issues right now around the league. AO, like, how do you approach NBA betting right now when you don't necessarily know like some of the players that are going to be playing that night?
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, my view on this is like I don't bet a ton of NBA, but like it's the same thing in the NFL. And like it hasn't affected. Like obviously, it's becoming more and more of an issue in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't let it. Honestly, it doesn't impact me all that much. My general view on it is that it cuts both ways. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's going to even out. Like sometimes you're going to get screwed. Sometimes you're going to be on the right side of that. You know, like this past week, I was on the Bengals before Tyler Huntley got ruled out, so it was great. I was like, I liked the Bengals before. I love them even more now that Josh Johnson's starting and the spreads moved to -7, and it's going to happen where I'm going to be on the wrong side of that too. You can't handicap it, like I said. So like honestly, it's not that much of a factor. Obviously, in the NBA, it's a little bit different in the sense that there are guys who you know might be coming back, but like
Yeah.
a couple hours before the game. But everything cuts both ways. I think you can try and read the tea leaves when you can't read the tea leaves when it comes to guys going into the health and safety protocols because you have no idea when anybody's going to test positive for COVID. But in terms of guys who are coming back, you can kind of look to read a lot of coaches' comments, a lot of stuff. You can often read the tea leaves to kind of tell when guys are coming back, how close they are to coming back, if they have a realistic shot to play in that next game, or if it's looking unlikely.
Yeah. So when you look at tonight, I see you're on the Wizards, right? Who haven't necessarily had the greatest month of December so far, but you love them tonight.
Yeah, and it pains me to do this because I love the Cavaliers. I'm taking the Wizards over the Cavs because the Wizards haven't had a great time recently. You know, who's had an even worse time has been the Cavs because they've just been, even though they were winning games, they've just been decimated by injuries.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you guys a little bit before the show, I grew up a Cavs fan, then went away from the Cavs, didn't have an NBA team for a while. Ricky Rubio became my favorite player. Then Ricky Rubio comes to the Cavs. So I'm like, oh, wow, I'm all back on the Cavs. It's like when I was a kid again. I was like, me and my roommate were both like huge Cavs fans when we were kids. And we've both been like all in again on this team, this Cavs team, because there's such a feel good story. I love these like lovable losers. And I saw it coming. I was like, the Cavs were expected to be one of the worst teams in the league this year. They were like, their win total was like 26 or something like that. So I took the over on their win total. I took the Cavs to win, make the playoffs at 16-1. I'm going to win a few $1,000 if the Cavs can just hold on here and make the playoffs. But they've just been so unlucky. Colin Sexton out for the year. They've got Jared Allen, other guys still in COVID protocols. Darius Garland just entered the COVID protocols. And then obviously my beloved Ricky Rubio tore his ACL the other night. And they just lost to the Pelicans on the road. And that was with Rubio playing a great game for 37 minutes before he tore his ACL. Now without, I mean, you saw, or I'm sure not too many people saw actually the end of the Cavs Pelicans game. I was watching the Cavs Pelicans game. The last couple minutes without Rubio or without Garland, the Cavs have nothing. They have no, and obviously Sexton's out. Sexton, Rubio, Garland, only 3 ball handlers the Cavs had. They have literally nobody left who's a real NBA point guard. Their starting point guard now is going to be this guy like Kevin Pangos, who's like never been in the NBA before this and isn't an NBA rotation player. And he's going to be like their only ball handler. They have literally nobody else. I love Evan Mobley, but there's going to be nobody to run the pick and roll. Like they don't have a single NBA caliber player who can operate a pick and roll right now. I think it's going to look really, really bad, just like it looked really, really bad in the few minutes they played without Rubio and Garland the last game against the Pelicans. There's a reason why I think Ricky tore his ACL was probably because he was getting worked so hard that game. JB Bickerstaff, their coach, who I think should be coach of the year, was going to play him the entire second half. He took him out for 40 seconds in the third quarter, and Rubio's like a 31 or 32-year-old point guard because he knew that the team was so unprepared to not have him. The Wizards, on the other hand, you know, everyone's raking them over their coals. I'm looking at their schedule now. They had a really tough schedule for a while. Lost to the Jazz, at the Nuggets, at the Suns. Actually won at the Jazz recently. Won at the Knicks in the Garden a few nights ago. So I don't think the Wizards are in quite as bad shape as some might think. And against this Cavs team with no point guard, I got to take Washington.
Oh, I'm sorry about your Cavs. That sucked. No one wanted to see Ricky Rubio go down like that. Like that was just such a that's a devastating injury for the team because now he's going to be out for like the next 6 months or so.
Yeah.
That just sucks. That really sucks. I'm sorry about your Cavs, AL. I'm sorry about
Thank
your
you.
Cavs,
It's all
but you
good.
still
It's all
might.
good.
Well, how many wins do they have right now in the season? I think they're still going to
Oh, the
pass
win
them.
total is for sure, but I still want them to do. I got 16-1 on the playoffs, so I need
Yeah,
that
you
to
need
be.
that playoff.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need them to hit.
Yeah.
You need them to hit. I love it,
I
Jim.
was a lot more sad about the Rubio news when it happened. I'm doing a good job now. I was devastated. I was like, me and my roommate were being very melodramatic about it. We were having a funeral essentially. We were mourning the loss of Ricky Rubio for a whole day.
No,
Hey, we
no.
that's what this show is really for. Like, we've all gone through our therapy sessions, like we call
Yeah.
them, and you know what? You have to just it's hard. It's a gut punch, but you know what? Your bet's still alive. I'm on
Yeah.
it with you tonight. Whenever every morning you wake up and you start looking at the spreads as soon as you can look at them, and one just jumps out at you, you're like, what? Washington's favored against Cleveland. What's going on? And then you
Yeah.
start diving into it a little bit, and you see Cleveland has nobody. They were already 28th in turnovers per possession with their
Yeah,
point guards. Now they're missing those guys. I'm with you. I like Washington tonight as well.
For sure.
I know. And you're also on Milwaukee tonight, Jim, right? 12 and a
Yeah,
half. That's a lot of points that they're laying.
and here's what's crazy. They just played them and beat them by 17. So obviously, but once again, I think we're getting a healthy Milwaukee team. They're pretty much full go, except for Lopez, I believe. Orlando is the opposite. They don't have much. Like, unless what's his name, Franz Wagner goes off for 37 again, and they still lost by 17. I don't think I'm going to take my chances again with just a better team. Orlando's struggling. That's a
Yeah.
struggling team with some guys out too.
They're struggling, and they also have like a majority of their team right now still in COVID protocols. So,
Exactly. That's why
yeah.
I just feel like it's a good play to take Milwaukee again. I mean, I'm not against just because they played them the other day. They beat them by 17. I think they could beat them by 20.
Yeah.
Cool. Bold statement over here from Mr. Monis. You love to see it as we take it to the ice, my friends.
Uh-oh.
When you look at the NHL, I think I'm the only one that actually has an NHL bet today.
I was just gonna
But
say, Andrew and I, it's like we're like, okay, go
yeah,
ahead,
you
Lori.
guys are like, uh-oh. No, literally, uh-oh. What is going on? I will say though, let me just ask you guys a question because obviously the NHL paused for a little while, right? Because of the COVID protocols and so many guys going into protocols. When you're looking at betting teams that are coming back after having a break for 7 to 10 days, like is that kind of a stay away spot for you, AO? Like when you don't really see the trends because the trends that were happening before the pause can be completely different once they come back.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, I don't bet hockey really because I don't follow much hockey. I took a couple of futures this year because I just like to have something to root for the whole year. I got Red
That's the
Wings
best.
and Ducks, 300-1 each. The Ducks, low key playing pretty well. I got 30K coming if the Ducks can win the cup. So
That's
keep your
sick.
fingers crossed for me. But
Yeah.
yeah, I think it is a time to proceed with caution. It reminds me kind of like NFL Week 1 or whatever, when like you haven't really seen teams in a while and a lot of weird stuff kind of happens. Obviously, remember the Packers got blown out by the Saints in Week 1, like
Yeah.
stuff when teams have had a lot of time off, or like in the NFL the bye week. Some teams respond super well to it and come out recharged and with a renewed sense of focus and dominate a team coming off a bye week, and some teams completely no show coming off a bye week. So I think it'll be high variance. I don't know. I'm not a hockey bettor. I would imagine this initial comeback will be. I think I saw the first day back, like every game went over or something. So I was wondering if maybe that was like a thing or something. Maybe defenses lost a little bit of their sharpness during the break. I don't know.
Yeah. Everyone has rested legs coming back. Okay, I'll give
Yeah.
you guys my NHL bet just because I'm the only one with one today. Well, my best bet of the day is also an NHL bet because I love my Ice Picks, Ice Queen. It's fine. The Canadians taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. I have the Canes puck line in this game at -128. Usually I like getting my puck lines at plus money, but this one is just, I feel like a sure bet. You look at the Canadians, they've been really struggling this season, lost 8 of their last 9 games, and 4 of their last 4, I think all 4 of their last games on the road. They've been really bad defensively. They've given up at least 4 goals in each of their last 4 road games. It's also they've had a hard time on special teams, and they're one of the worst teams in the league when it comes to killing penalties. Special teams are a big factor when it comes to winning games. The Canes have one of the best offenses in the league, also one of the best power play converting teams in the league. I just don't think that Montreal will be able to slow them down on the offensive side. And then the Hurricanes have also played really well defensively. They've given up 8 goals in their last 5 games total. So that's basically like averaging 1.5 goals a game. That's not that many. They're the second best team in the league when it comes to killing penalties. And with the Canadians struggling so much offensively, they're going to have a hard time scoring against the Hurricanes. I like Carolina to win big here. Puck line at minus 128. Not the best value for it, but I think it's a sure bet. So I'm all about it. Puck line. You guys agree with me because you know so much about it?
Look,
Yeah.
there's two things I
Are you
do every
killing
day.
me?
I take Lauren's hockey picks because I just love it. And I don't know one thing. I don't follow hockey, AO. I'm like you. I don't follow it. The other thing I do every day is people need to make sure they go to Pickswise and check the horse racing picks out. I love the horse racing, and it's every day. And they are really good. These guys making these picks on horse races. So Pickswise, they are unbelievable with horses. So Lauren's hockey, Pickswise horses, sign me up.
Betting the ponies, baby. You love it. You absolutely love it. Okay, let's go to the thing that you guys know a lot about. And AO, you've been like red hot recently. I know you have your good luck
Took a step
charm
back
out.
this past week, but yeah. A couple
A
weeks ago
little
was
step
good.
back, but hey, you know what? We're celebrating the wins of 2021. So glass half full. Your good luck charm is here. Before you tell us your picks, how are you handling, again, like similar to the NHL, the COVID situation when it comes to betting the NFL, the NBA right now, because it is such a prevalent thing in all of the leagues?
Yeah, like I was saying a little bit, it's like I don't let it affect me too much just because it really cuts both ways. Like
Yeah.
it's just a fact. Like it's just a fact of life. Like you can't be afraid to get screwed by this stuff because then you're just never going to end up betting anything at all. You're going to miss some of the lines that you might like. So I don't think you'd be. I just didn't really like the card this week, not because, but it wasn't because of like COVID. Really, I just didn't really like the card at all. But the COVID stuff doesn't scare me. Nothing phases me. Come on now. I think that, yeah, like I said, I think that it's more about handicapping which guys are already on COVID lists who might be able to come back. Obviously, the NFL just changed their guidance, which is huge, like 5 days. So a guy like Carson Wentz can get COVID on Tuesday and still play on Sunday. So I think now it's even less of an issue, especially after that. Now it's like you just can't catch COVID starting on a Wednesday, like Wednesday through Saturday, but any other day you're good.
Catch it on a Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, yes, it would really scare me. I mean, if I was an actual NFL team and I had to worry about my court, but as a bettor, it doesn't really
Yeah.
phase me too much. This week there wasn't a ton that I liked. I did like a couple of games. I like Washington at home, catching the points to Philadelphia. I think this is a classic case. Like the old adage is it's a cliche, but it's so true. It's all about buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. And if this is not a buy low, sell high spot, I don't know what is. Washington is coming off the 40-point ass kicking on Sunday Night Football. The Eagles, everybody's like feeling the Eagles all of a sudden. They're like this trendy, they could sneak into the playoffs kind of team because they're 8-7. Washington catching more than a field goal at home to me seems a bit ridiculous. That means like on a neutral, the Eagles are like 5.5 points better than the Washington, which I don't think is true at all. I think if this game had been played just a couple of weeks ago, Washington would have been a favorite. And this is just way too much of a line movement for me. The Eagles, let's look at it. They're 8-7. They've won 8 games. Okay, and their recent winning streak. Look who they've beaten. They've beaten the Giants with Jake Fromm at quarterback. They beat Washington on a Tuesday with Garrett Gilbert just signed off the street 2 days before at quarterback, and they beat the Jets. So that's their 3-game win streak. The week before that, mind you, they lost to the Giants back when the Giants still had Daniel Jones. They scored 7 points. Jalen Hurts was awful, and they lost to the Giants. Okay, their other wins this season are against the Saints, who were in an absolute dumpster fire at the time that they beat the Saints, Simeon and whatnot. The week before that, they beat the Broncos, who were spiraling out of control all the time. They beat the Lions and the Panthers and the Falcons, and those are all 8 Eagles wins this season. I don't think a single one of them is really impressive. They won 8 games. They're all against teams that were in various states of disarray when they beat them. And now they're laying over a field goal on the road against Washington. Yes, Washington's kind of fallen on hard times the past couple of weeks. Obviously, Sunday night was a disaster. Guess what? The Cowboys are just really good. And as Ron Rivera said at the time, I don't think he was making excuses, but Washington has had a lot of, they've dealt with a lot of stuff recently. Obviously, one of their players was just involved in a tragedy. Or another one actually just happened. They've had a lot of stuff going on. I think that loss is understandable. I think they're going to come out highly motivated. The teams coming off these huge blowout losses seem to cover at a really high rate. And again, before Tyler Heineke got hurt, Washington had won 4 games in a row. They beat the Bucks by double digits. Like we were talking about Washington as a potential sneaking into the playoffs kind of team. And in 2 weeks is not enough for that everything to radically change. Or I'm going to be laying more than a field goal with the Eagles. I just think this number is too high.
Yeah. Jim, what do you think about that?
No, I wrote down some games this week that caught my eye, and that's one I had to. I'm with you, AO. Like, and you have to have guts to take after what we just saw. That
Yeah.
Washington secondary is destroyed right now. So I definitely have concerns, but Hurts doesn't scare me throwing the ball. So anytime a team gets embarrassed, these guys are professionals. Ron Rivera, Jack Del Rio, these guys are really good football coaches. You're going to get a good effort from Washington for sure. I agree.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy everything that Washington's had to deal with over the last couple of weeks with their COVID issues. It's like you see some of these teams that are just absolutely decimated, and they have to come out and play with basically like the practice squad. It's just I don't know.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, I kind of
Any
think
other
it's
picks?
fun. Like, am I
You
alone
do?
in
You
that?
like
Am I alone? I love seeing, like, there's nothing more than I like than seeing like a guy during the non-COVID years. It's always my favorite when you get to like week 16. There's like a random third string quarterback who gets like a start. Garrett Gilbert being like signed off the street 2 days ago, and obviously you have to root for them, and you root for them to like grind out like a scrappy like 14-13 like ugly win. It's always the best when there's like everyone hates it. I'm sure it's terrible for ratings, but it's always the best when it's a primetime game. Like I loved the fact like Garrett Gilbert was playing in like a standalone nationally televised game with the team he just signed with 2 days. I love that stuff. But maybe that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, big fan. We got a question in the chat from Brent about Preds three-way money line. Do one of you guys want to take this about the Nashville Predators in the ice?
Lauren,
No? Okay, I will.
Lauren, I think you got this one, Lauren. I don't even know. I don't even know where who are the where are they located? I don't even know.
Nashville.
Nashville, come on.
The same place where this Tennessee game is being played later today. Okay. The same city. They're taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. Nashville has a 7-game win streak going on right now. Columbus is 2-7-1 in their last 10 games. I like the Nashville Preds three-way money line, especially if you're getting plus money on that because it's a good value. I think the Preds are going to ride their momentum that they've been dealing with. Also, they've been able to get a lot of those wins with like half of their team on the COVID protocol list. So you see they're able to do maybe without a full team. And now they have their full team back. They're going to ride some of that momentum. I like the Preds three-way money line tonight against a struggling Columbus Blue Jackets team. Ayo, any NFL bets that we need to know that you have to tell us about because you're not on the show this weekend. It's really sad.
Yeah, this one I kind of like. I just was stumbling upon it last night. I don't usually bet team totals, but I do like this one. I'm taking the under Jets 16.5. Normally I'll play like the full game total or over or whatever. I didn't want to go full game, like actual game under here because I could see the Bucks putting up like 40 on the Jets defense even without their weapons and the game going over. But I don't see the Jets scoring much at all. It's like the Jets, if you look at their recent games, they've gone over 16 a couple of times recently, and each time I think it's been undeserved. Like last week against the Jags, Zach Wilson had 100 yards. They were just kind of able to run a lot on the Jags. Guess who you can't run on? The Bucks. The Bucks. Nobody even tries running. Nobody even tries running on the Bucks. Most teams just like come out and throw like literally the Bills like throw like 25 straight times. Yeah. See how that goes for the Jets with Zach Wilson. Let him sling the let Zach Wilson attempt 20 straight passes. See how it goes. The week before that, they technically scored 24 against the Dolphins again. It's because they had a pick six from Tua. I don't think Tom Brady's going to throw a pick six to their defense. Zach Wilson had like 170 yards in that game. The week before that, against the Saints, they scored 9 points. Like the Jets, the week before that against the Eagles, like I think they had like something yard, or the week before that against the Saints, I'm sorry, they had 220 yards of offense. Now against the Bucks defense, it has been playing better. Obviously, the Bucks are without a couple of guys on defense, but I don't really think it matters. They just held the Panthers to 6 points last week. I don't think this Jets offense is any better than the Panthers. The only way the Jets have been scoring recently, have gone over this, is because they had like a big kickoff return one game. They had the pick six against Tua. I don't think either of those things are going to happen here. And Zach Wilson getting 2 touchdowns and a field goal on his own, I don't think it's going to happen.
The unders. You and Alex Glaze both loving the unders. Big fan. I actually might tell you on that one. I like it. When you said that, you're like, Jets under 16.5 points. And Jim just started giggling a little bit over there.
Because it's amazing that it's a good bet. You can't see them scoring. Like you said, I like how you talked about the kind of the kickoff returns and the pick sixes. Like it takes plays like that for the Jets to even be in a game. So if you're going to just go with traditional football, you can't picture the Jets scoring anything.
Yeah, I don't see it. And then
right.
I do have one more.
Wait, what did you say?
I do have one more, if that's all right.
Let's hear it.
I want to
Yes, please bring it on.
This one scares me a little bit. This one actually, I wrote down the Chiefs my pick. I actually haven't bet it yet, but I think I'm going to. It scares me
Okay.
because the totals actually come up a little bit. Like it was 49. I like the under 51 in this Chiefs Bengals game. Clearly, there's been some respected money coming in on the over. It's gone up a couple of points, so I'm going to be going against that, which I don't normally like to be doing.
Yeah.
But this just seems a little high for me. Like everyone, I get it. There's a lot of excitement about this Bengals offense after what they did to the Ravens last week. There's a lot of excitement about the Chiefs because the Chiefs are back. Everyone's saying Mahomes, he's fixed. The offensive problems they had earlier are gone. I'm not so sure that's the case for either of those teams. It's like the Bengals were so fun last week, and I was on the Bengals rooting for them. He's torched the Ravens twice. The Ravens playing without like a single cornerback on their roster and are just like a probably the most injured team on the league on that side of the ball on defense. Their whole secondary has been decimated, and the Bengals just seem to match up very well against the Ravens. Remember, they torched the Ravens in their first meeting like a couple months ago too. It's so funny how short everyone's memories are. It's everyone's talking. Like Burrow had 525 yards, historic performance. Don't get me wrong. Everybody is now saying the Bengals are this unstoppable offensive jug. The week before, they
Yeah.
scored 15 points against the Broncos and didn't do anything all day. They had one long touchdown to Tyler Boyd. Outside of that, did nothing on offense all day. They play at a slow pace. I think they want to run the ball. I think they're going to want to. They already play at a very slow pace. And I think that will kind of be the game plan here. Try and get Joe Mixon as many carries as possible, keep Patrick Mahomes off the field. So I think everyone's getting a little out of control with this Bengals offensive hype. And then on the other side, I think the same thing is true for the Chiefs. Everyone is like, Chiefs are back, Chiefs are back, Chiefs are back. Okay, they torched the Steelers, who I've been saying for a long time actually suck on defense. The week before that, they put up a lot of points on the Chargers, who just got blown off the ball by like the Texans' backup offensive lineman. Davis Mills was looking like Tom Brady last week against this current state of the Chargers offense. And then the week before that was against the Raiders, who the Chiefs really excel against and have done great against twice this year. And then right before that, the offense was struggling against the Broncos, Cowboys, etc. So I'm not all the way back on the Chiefs yet either. So I just think 51 is a lot. Neither team can really bog down at all. You need kind of both teams to be humming for the entire game. And I think the Bengals are going to play at a pretty slow pace, and the 50s just seems high to me.
You're going to have the undersweats this weekend. I was talking to Alex Glaze and Mark Zinno about it. They're like, what's worse, the undersweats or the meat sweats? I'm like, I don't know. I've never had either of them. So you guys tell me. I'm like, you guys let me know. But yeah, a lot of unders for AO this weekend. I like it. I'm definitely
What are the meat sweats? Am I stupid?
No, you're not stupid. It means you actually have self-control.
What are the meat sweats?
Go to a just go to a
meat, right?
Like you eat too much meat, you start sweating.
No, just go to any place in the South, do all you can eat barbecue, whatever it is, a 3-meat barbecue, brisket, ribs, pulled pork. That's what I'm trying to say. You guys have self-control. I don't. I have to say
I'm a dainty LA person. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not familiar with this barbecue culture.
You're eating salads and stuff. There's no barbecue meat sweats.
You don't have to worry about the meat sweats out there.
Oh, God. Okay, well, now that we've clarified what that is, that's good to know. Let's move on to our Pickswise 3-star play of the day. And before we go to the play of the days and 3-star play of the days, I have to mention that the Pickswise has cashed 3 college football mega parlays in a row. So make sure to check that out on the website. 3 in a row, mega parlays, college football. Go to pickswise.com. Check that out. Ayo, give me a 3-star play of the day from the Pickswise website. Who do we got?
Yeah, I guess I spoiled it. See, I knew we were going to be coming back to that. I shouldn't have said it at the beginning. It's Wisconsin. Shout out Luke Lindholm, our wonderful college football writer. He's on Wisconsin. We've already talked about it a lot. Jim already broke down the game better than I could for sure. But yeah, like we said, Wisconsin's defense against an Arizona State team that's missing their star running back. I think it's going to be a long day at the office for Jaden Daniels. At least Luke Lindholm says that's the case. And that is our 3-star bet of the day on the site.
Again, 3 straight college football mega parlays. So make sure to check that out, pickswise.com. All right, our best bets of the day. Jim, I'm coming to you first. Who do you got?
I'm going to college basketball. I know we don't talk about it a lot, but I just love it. I've had yesterday was such a good day. My confidence feels good today. And I saw a spread that jumped out at me. It's kind of like when Brody Jenner, one of my favorite shows is The Hills. I love The Hills. And every girl thinks they can get Brody Jenner to be their boyfriend and he'll lock down. He's going to quit drinking. This time he's going to do it. No. He is just fool's gold. He lives his life. He's a good dude. He likes to DJ. He likes to do his thing. And you have to appreciate that. You see Brody, it looks good. Don't fall for it. When you see a spread that looks so good, like I just saw today, I'm falling for it. I'm falling for Brody Jenner. South Alabama tonight in Mobile, good old Mobile, Alabama. That's where South
Mobile,
Alabama is
Alabama.
located. Spent a lot of years. I got the meat sweats down in Mobile a couple times at J. Rogers Barbecue. It's in Saraland, right outside of Mobile. Anyway, this South Alabama team is pretty good. They almost beat Alabama earlier this year. They lost Alabama by like 4 or 5 this year. They have a couple good players, which I love in college basketball. They have 2 guys that put up 15, 17 a game. I like that. They have some star power. They have some size, point guard play. Texas Arlington, disaster. This team can't score. South Alabama plays defense. I'll gladly lay the 2.5 tonight. That's my play of the day.
I like it. Ayo, you're taking it from boys to men, right? Because you're going from NCAA to NBA. Who's your best
From
bet?
the amateur to the pro ranks. Yeah, I like the Wizards. Like we talked about a little bit earlier in the show on the NBA. It really pains me to do this. I kind of hope I lose, but yeah, I think the Cavs are going to be a dumpster fire. I think until Darius Garland comes back. Hopefully he can get back as soon as possible. Hopefully the NBA changes their thing to be like NFL. We can call it 5 days, and Darius Garland can get back because the Cavs have no ball handlers. Kevin Pangos is our starting point guard now, and I think that's going to be a disaster on the road against the Washington team that hasn't played quite as bad as most people think recently. So.
I know. Sometimes when the head goes against the heart, it's a really hard decision to have to make.
I'm rooting for the heart.
I'm just telling you, that line you just said is incredible about you kind of hope it loses.
I kind of hope it loses.
I'm telling you, that is the true sign. I'm proud of you. Like, that's a true sign of a hardcore gambler, because I swear I gamble because I enjoy the losses. Like, I like to see how it's going to lose. How is this game going to actually lose?
That's how I feel about my Detroit Lions every single week, because I bet their money line every week since week 1, and it seems like every single week they find a different way to lose. It's actually incredible. I don't think.
Did you bet them against the Cardinals?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, money line every week. I'm consistent with it, but it's only hit a couple times, so it's fine. But honestly, I don't think that any other team has found as many ways to lose as the Lions have found to lose. It's incredible. It's incredible. For the 29 years that I've been alive, every single year, it's like they find 10 different ways to lose. There's been like 290 ways that they've lost since I've been living. It's insane.
So you're betting the Lions this week, I assume, against the Seahawks. I was thinking of doing it.
Yep. Money line, baby. Money line.
All right, maybe I'll put the Lions money line in the mega parlay this week. This is your chance to become the good luck charm again. I'm going to put the Lions in the mega parlay. We'll see.
Let's go.
This is your audition.
Let's go. Okay, if it loses though, don't come back. Don't come hollering at me. This is not me. This is not me convincing you. This is when your heart bets over your head. Okay, that's what the Lions are to me every single week. So we're going for it. But my best bet of the day, I'm taking it back to the ice. Down to the Sunshine State. The Tampa Bay Lightning are taking on the Florida Panthers. I like Lightning money line at plus 118 in a game like this. The Panthers, this is their second game back since the COVID pause. They played last night, so they're on the second half of a back-to-back. They played against the Rangers, won by 1 goal. But before then, they haven't played since December 16th. Florida expected to be minus Huberdeau again for this contest, and I think that that's just going to not be very good for their attack. You saw how Florida struggled in their final 3 games heading into the pause. And it's going to be an uphill climb for them to get up to speed at this point. Like, yeah, they won last night against the Rangers. They still didn't look that great. Tampa Bay earned a win over Montreal at home despite playing without their top 2 goaltenders. The Lightning do have Braden Point back, and he put up big offensive numbers in that win. We've seen Tampa Bay put up solid production offensively all season. Defensively, they've been better than the Panthers all season. I look for Tampa Bay to come up road victory, still kind of in their, it is in their home state, and they're going to stay hot in this game. Tampa Bay Lightning money line plus 118. Love the plus money value. So feel free to tell me on that one. Sunshine State matchup. Why not? I love it.
Lauren, I don't feel like you get too many plus money line. Like, usually you have to do the puck lines, don't you, to get like plus and.
Yeah. Usually
you should call them pluck lines.
The pluck lines. I like that. We got plops and now we got pluck lines.
I stole it.
I'm going with it moving forward. We're going to do it. So usually when in hockey to get a plus money value, you need to bet puck line or the 3-way money line, which means they need to win in regulation.
Yeah, I've noticed Jared always is on that 3. Yeah.
Jared and Alex Blaze love the 3-way money line. They love it. Yeah. All right, guys. It's been so much fun. Ayo, it's been fun working on a show with you for the first time in like a month. It's been
I
a
know.
minute.
Hopefully, you won't have to wait a month again. Hopefully.
I know. Seriously, missed ya. Jim Monis, it's been great. Love
It's one
having you
day.
on. That's it for us today, you guys. Find us on the Pickswise YouTube channel. Go to pickswise.com. Follow us on Twitter, Jim Monis, Andrew Ortenberg. Ayo. I'm Lauren Jabara. Best of luck tonight. I've been wanting to do that all day. Best of luck tonight. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Let's get it. Let's bet it.